This is today's lesson. Congruence between triangles. Proofs using SSS and ASA. Write a two-column proof. Example number 1. Given segment PS is congruent to segment PQ. Segment SR is congruent to segment QR. Prove. Triangle PSR is congruent to triangle PQR. This is the figure. We are going to prove this using a two-column proof. In the first column, we are going to write the statements, and in the second column, the corresponding reasons. For our first statement, segment PS is congruent to segment PQ. Let us indicate this in the figure. The reason given. So we have S. And then segment SR is congruent to segment QR. Let us indicate this in the figure. Same reason, we have another S. And for statement number 2, segment PR is congruent to segment PR. This is segment PR. The reason, reflexive property of congruence, another S. And for the last statement, triangle PSR is congruent to triangle PQR. This is triangle PSR and this is triangle PQR. The reason, SSS Congruence Postulate. According to this postulate, if three sides of one triangle are congruent to three sides of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. Example number 2. This is the figure given. Segment PS bisects angle QPR. Segment PQ is congruent to segment PR. This is segment PQ and this is segment PR. Prove. Triangle PQS is congruent to triangle PRS. This is triangle PQS and this is triangle PRS. We are going to prove this using a two-column proof. In the first column, we are going to write the statements. In the second column, the corresponding reasons. For our first statement, segment PS bisects angle QPR. This is given. So the reason is given. If this segment PS bisects angle QPR, then this angle will be divided into two congruent angles. So for our next statement, angle QPS is congruent to angle RPS. Let us indicate this in the figure. The reason, definition of angle bisector. So we have A. Next statement, segment PQ is congruent to segment PR. Let us indicate this in the figure. The reason given. So we have S. For our next statement, that is statement number 4, we have angle Q is congruent to angle R. Let us indicate that in the figure. The reason, if two sides of a triangle are congruent, then the angles opposite them are congruent. Side PQ is congruent to side PR. So, the angles opposite them, which are angle Q and angle R, are congruent. So, we have A. We can see in the figure that side PQ is an included side because it is between two angles. And side PR is also an included side because it is a side between two angles. So for our last statement, triangle PQS is congruent to triangle PRS. The reason, ASA Congruence Postulate. According to this postulate, if two angles and the included side of one triangle are congruent to two angles and the included side of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent.